Hello students, welcome to mathematics class. Students, this is part 10 of the chapter squares and square roots. In this part 10, we will be finding square of a number ending in 5 and another new topic called Pythagorean triplets. So students, coming to the first topic, finding square of a number ending in 5. What is the meaning of number ending in 5? Students, any number ending in 5 means a number whose units place digit is 5. So, when you are having a number, its units place being 5, for example, 5 is a such number, 15 is another number, 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, and so on. These are all the numbers having its units place digit as 5. Now you are going to learn square of such numbers. Now try to observe the following pattern and try to make some sense out of that pattern. It is very easy to find the square of a number ending in 5. First, let us take 25 square. 25 square, 625. You know how to find square of any number? Similarly, you find out and you can see that 25 square is 625. Now, this 625 we can get in some trick. Using that we can get this answer. But try to observe one by one. There is another example I have taken. 35 square. 35 square is 1225. You know how to find out 35 square. For example, if I am finding 35 square using diagonal method. Three, 5, 3, 5. I have drawn diagonals. Three threes are 0, 9. 3 5s are 15. 3 5s are 15. 5 3s are 15. 5 5s are 25. Now diagonally we have to take first 35 square ends with 5 and this diagonally 5 plus 2 plus 5 is 12 and 1 carry, and in this diagonal 1 plus 1 plus 9 plus 1 is 12, again 1 carry. So in this diagonal 1 plus 0 1. So now 35 square being 1225. Using any of the method you find the square of 35. and you can cross check that. Here is a trick behind finding square of a number 35. Now try to make that sense by watching these. Do we require all this process or some other process such as column method to find square of a number ending in 5? Next, one more example I will take. 75 square. You can find out 75 square using any method. Either you use the diagonal method or use a column method. Suppose if I want to use column method, 2ab and b square. So here number of tens becomes a equals to 7, and number of units becomes b equals to 5. That means in this column 7 square, which is 49, here 2 into 7 into 5, which is going to be 70. Here in this column 5 square, which is going to be 25. Now if you want to find out 75 square, underline in leftmost columns units place digit, write down that. You take out this rest of the digits which are there, add them to here. Now it becomes 72. Underline that 2 and take it here. These rest of the digits add to here, which becomes 56. Now underline them and bring it and write here. So this is the answer. This is what we got? 75 square? Yes, 5625. Now try to observe. I found this 75 square using column method. I got the same answer. I found 35 square using diagonal method. I got the same answer. But all these processes are not at all required when we use this technique or the idea behind finding square of a number ending in 5. Now what is this idea? Could you make some sense? Yes. Now the question, one more example I'll give. See, 125 square is 15,625. What is the idea behind that? They are using without any calculation much. So square of a number ending in 5 definitely ends with 25. Ends with 25. Ends with 25. Now these remaining digits, that is number of hundreds. How many hundreds are there? If you want to find out in the given number, leaving 5, what is there? Those digits, that is 12 in this case, is multiplied with its successor. 13 is called successor of 12. So 12 13s are 156. Now you got an answer of 125 square. So 125 square is 15,625. I think you made same sense from these 3 examples. You can watch. Leaving 5, 2, 2's successor is 3, product of 2 and 3 is 6, and 2, 5 will be the ending digits. 35 square will be ending digits as 2, 5, and leaving 5 we have got 3, 3's successor is 4, product of 3 and 4 is 12, so 1225. 75 square will end with the 2, 5 first, and apart from this 5 we have got 7, 7's successor is 8, product of 7 and 8 is 56, so the 75 square is 5625. So now you got a trick in your hand. What is the trick? Square of any number ending in 5 will definitely ends with 25, and remaining digits can be found by finding the product of rest of the digits in the given number apart from 5 and their successor. Okay, this is the trick. Now question time. Now can you find, if you want you can pause the screen and note down these answers. Now I am going to give you a question after wiping this screen. So students, now the question time. Now can you find the square of 95? If you want to find the square of 95, what should I do? If you want to find the square of 95, first surely this number ends in 5. Now the other digits, if I want to find out, I have to multiply 9 with its successor, 9's successor 10, and this gives hundreds. This gives hundreds. You can write either 100 or this inverse hundreds. So 9 tens are 90, and 90 into 100 is 9,000 plus 25 gives 9025. That's it. So easy to find square of a number ending in 5. Now let us come to the reason behind this, why it happens so. Now if you want to reason out, let us assume one example. Let us take a number $75 only I am taking. Okay. Now if I take 75 and wanted to find out 75 square, then I can write this as 7 into 10 plus 5 whole square. 75 is 7 into 10 plus 5 now. Now I will make use of a plus b whole square algebraic identity. A plus b whole square algebraic identity tells us we can expand a plus b whole square as a square plus 2ab plus b square. That means similarly, using this identity, we can expand this 7 into 10 whole square plus 2 into 7 into 10 into 5 plus 5 square. Now students, what is 7 into 10 whole square? You know 7 into 10 whole square is nothing but 7 into 10 into 7 into 10, or else it can be written as 7 square into 10 square. Both are right. 7 square into 10 square or 7 into 10 into 7 into 10. Now here this 2 and 5's product gives 110. Another we have got 7 into 10. Now try to observe here we have this 10 square giving us 100 into 7 squares 17, and I have taken another 7 into 7 into 100. Same thing I have written using associative property. Now here again I have 7 into 10 becomes 100 and plus 5 square. Now students, can I take this 7 into 100 as a common? Yes. If I take 7 into 100 as common, now what I am left with here? I am left with here 7 plus, there is nothing here. What should I write then? Children, if there is nothing, it means actually 1. 7 into 100 into 1. So that nothing actually gives 1. So plus 5 square. Now 7 into 100 into 7 plus 1 is 8. Plus 5 square. That's how now you got it. 7 into 8 into this associative property I am using again into hundreds plus 5 square is 25. This idea of or this trick of finding square of a number comes. Here it is 25. So that's how we have got reason for trick to find square of a number ending in 5. Okay, this is with one example I have taken. In general, we can have taking any number ending in 5 as A5. A5 is nothing but 10 times A plus 5. And same reasoning what I did here, if you do it, you will get A into A plus 1 into 100 plus 25. This trick you will get. A reason for trick of finding square of any number ending in 5. Okay, now the time to try this. Let us go for try this. Now try this. Find the square of a number. Find the square of these following numbers ending in 5. First one, 15 square. What is 15 square? If you want to find 15 square, I must find which are the digits other than 5. Other than 5 I have only 1, and that 1 and its successor. Its successor is 2. This product to be multiplied with hundreds. 100. Hundreds nothing but hundreds place it gives, or number of hundreds it gives. So 100 plus any number ending in 5 ends in 25. So to be added 25. So 1 2s are 2, 200s are 200 plus 25 gives 225. That is the answer. So similarly we will find the rest. Second one. So 95 square we have already found. It is 9 into 10 into 100 plus 25, which is equals to 9 tens are 90 and 100 multiplied to 90 gives 9000. 9000 plus 25 is 9025. Next, third one is 105 whole square. 105 square is 10 into 11 into 100 plus 25. Now 11 tens is 110 and 110 multiplied to 100 gives 11,025. So similarly we can find last one. 205 square is 20 into 21, which is successor of 20 into 100 plus 25. So certainly this number also ends in 25. So 20 21s are 441. 441 written gives 44,125. So this is how we find square of any number ending in 5. I hope you got clarity of this. Students, now I will go for Pythagorean triplets. Now, to know what is Pythagorean triplets, we must know what is Pythagoras theorem. What is Pythagoras theorem? Pythagoras theorem states that in a right triangle, remember, a right triangle is a triangle with one of its angle being right angle. Now, in a right triangle, square of the hypotenuse. Remember what is hypotenuse? You learnt in 7th. Hypotenuse is the longest side, and you know it is always opposite to right angle. So this is called hypotenuse. We have longest side of a right angle triangle being hypotenuse. So square of this hypotenuse is the sum of squares of the other two sides. For example, if I take length of hypotenuse as C and length of the other two sides as A and B, if I take this length as B units, this length as A units, and this length of as C units, therefore we get Pythagoras theorem stating A square plus B square equal to C square. That is what Pythagoras theorem tells. So square of hypotenuse is equal to sum of squares of the other two sides, which you learnt in class 7th. Now, the numbers which satisfy this Pythagoras theorem, that means the possible lengths of a right angled triangle, will be called as Pythagorean triplets. So what are Pythagorean triplets are? Pythagorean triplets are those numbers which satisfy the Pythagoras theorem, or you can say Pythagorean triplets are those natural numbers which satisfy A square plus B square equals to C square, where A, B, C are being natural numbers. Okay, so that is the definition of Pythagoras theorem. Three natural numbers A, B, C are said to be Pythagorean triplets if A square plus B square equals to C square. Now, example for such collection. So, the collection of numbers 3, 4, 5 are known as Pythagorean triplets. Why they are called Pythagorean triplets? Reason is simple. 3 square plus 4 square, which is 9 plus 16, whose sum is 25, and 25 can be written as 5 square. Therefore, 3, 4, 5 is one of the Pythagorean triplet. Triplet means a collection of or a group of 3 numbers. A group of 3 numbers. Now, 6, 8 and 10 also a Pythagorean triplet. Why? You can check same way. 6 square plus 8 square equal to 36 plus 64, whose sum is 100, and that can be written as 10 square. So, I gave you 2 examples. Do you find any relation between 3, 4, 5 and 6, 8, 10? Yes, there is. If I take 3, 4, 5 and if I multiply each of them by 2, gives me 6, 8, 10. Could you make that? Yes. Now remember, similarly, can I have, if I multiply this by some other number, for example 3, will it give me 9, 12, 15 a Pythagorean triplet? Let us check. So, 9 square plus 12 square, which is equals to 81 plus 144. It implies sum of this is 225, which is a 15 square. That means yes, this is working. Now you not only know 3 is to 4 is to 5 and all its multiples by the same number can also be called as Pythagorean triplets. So that's how we can have plenty of Pythagorean triplets, and all these are the possible lengths of a right-angled triangle. Okay children, now continuing this topic, are the numbers 5 is to 12 is to 13 a Pythagorean triplet? Now you are asked to check. You are asked to check. If I want to check, how should I do? I just simple take a square of the sum of square of smaller two fellows. 5 square is 25, 12 square is 144, and their sum is 169, and it can be written as 13 square. Therefore, your answer must be yes. Why? Because five square plus 12 square is equals to 13 square. So this is the reason. Now, can you find some more such triplets? Now the idea of finding I have already gave you. We have basic Pythagorean triplets. So, if you know basic Pythagorean triplets and their multiples will also be certainly Pythagorean triplets. For example, already have seen one such basic Pythagorean triplet is 3 is to 4 is to 5. Similarly, there is another which you are watching, 5 is to 12 is to 13. So how the multiples of 3 is to 4 is to 5 are also Pythagorean triplets. The multiples of 5 is to 12 is to 13 are also will give you the rest of the Pythagorean triplets. So similarly we can have so many Pythagorean triplets once you know basic Pythagorean triplets. Is there any formula to find these? Yes, there is one formula which I am going to give you. That formula is, for any natural number m more than 1, we have 2m square plus m square plus 1, m square minus 1 whole square equals to m square plus 1 whole square. This is the formula. And these are the Pythagorean triplets. But for m more than 1, do you know why m more than must be 1 or why m should be more than 1? It is very simple. If m is equal to 1, then in this 1 of the Pythagorean triplet becomes 1 square minus 1, which is nothing but 1 minus 1, which is nothing but 0. Can I have 0 being the measure of any of the side of a right angle triangle? No. If the 0 is the measure of the side of any triangle, then the triangle doesn't exist now. So that's why m should be always more than 1. So this is a logic which you have to always think for. Why so? If it is given anything, why so? So that will help you to improve upon. Rather learning just the statement, you must know why so. Now students, this formula help us in finding many Pythagorean triplets. Now let us go for some examples. You know that this formula 2m, m square minus 1, m square plus 1. These three numbers will provide us Pythagorean triplets that we know. Now we will use this knowledge in finding or in solving this sort of questions. Write Pythagorean triplets whose smallest member is 8. Whose smallest member is 8. Now we will look for one by one reasons. We know that Pythagorean triplets by using general form 2m, m square minus 1 and m square plus 1. Now coming to the one by one we will take. Here I can equate m square minus 1 to the 8 and get some triplets. We can equate m square plus 1 to 8 and look for some triplets, and even we can equate 2m to 8 and look for some possibilities of finding Pythagorean triplets. This is the way of reasoning. Now watch. Let us take firstly m square minus 1 as 8. Now if m square minus 1 is 8, then m square should be 9 and m should be 3, which gives, if m is 3, then rest of the Pythagorean triplets are 2 into 3, 6, and 3 square is 9, 9 plus 1 is 10. Therefore, which are the Pythagorean triplets we have? 6, 8 and 10 being the Pythagorean triplets we are getting. But is 8 is the smallest among them? No. So that means this is not what we are looking for. So we need some other. Now that is same, I said 8 is not a smallest member of them. Now let us try to equate 2m to 8. Therefore m will be 4. If m is 4, then m square minus 1 is 4 square 16, 16 minus 1 is 15. M square plus 1 is 4 square gives 16, 16 plus 1 is 17. Now which are the Pythagorean triplets? Now the Pythagorean triplets are 8, 15 and 17. This is 70. So these are the Pythagorean triplets. Now remember children, among them 8 is the smallest member. That means we got a answer what we are looking for. Now can I do equating m square plus 1 to 8? That also you can try for. Suppose if I equate m square plus 1 to 8, it implies m square equals to 7. That means can I find m equals to root 7, which is not a natural number. Okay? When m is not giving a natural number, then I cannot get the 2m, m square minus 1 being again naturals. So remember here, m should be natural number. So m being not doesn't belong to natural number set, we cannot take m square plus 1 as 8. Okay, we avoid this situation for that reason. Okay, so this is how you have to reason it out. Now I am taking another example to make it this concept still clear. Next example is, find the Pythagorean triplets in which one member is 12. Now we know that Pythagorean triplets are given by the general form 2m and m square minus 1 and m square plus 1. Now similarly we can equate this 2m to 12 or m square minus 1 to 12 or m square plus 1 also to 12. With the reasons we will go ahead. Let us take first m square minus 1 is equal to 12. If m square minus 1 is equal to 12, then m square is 13, which implies m is root 13. Therefore, when m is root 13, m is not a natural number, doesn't belong to natural number set. So we will avoid equating m square minus 1 to 12, which will not give Pythagorean triplet. That is the reason I explained you. The value of m will not be an integer, so therefore we avoid it. So now you will go for equating m square plus 1 equal to 12. If m square plus 1 equals to 12, then m square equals to 11. Similar situation comes, m is equal to root 11. Again, therefore m doesn't belongs to m doesn't belongs to natural number set. For the same reason, we avoid equating m square plus 1 to 12 also. Now we are left with only one option, equating 12 to 2m. Now when I equate 2m to 12, then m equals to 6. When m is equals to 6, then m square minus 1 will give 36 minus 1, which is 35, and m square plus 1 gives 36 plus 1, which is 37. So which are the now Pythagorean triplets? Now the Pythagorean triplets are 12, 35 and 37. So these are the Pythagorean triplets. So students, we learnt today square of a number ending in 5 and Pythagorean triplets, meaning of Pythagoras theorem, finding Pythagorean triplets using general form. So here I am giving you homework. Note down this homework. Okay, this is your homework. Exercise 6.2, question number 2. You are asked to find Pythagorean triplets where one of the member given as 6, given as 14, given as 16, given as 18. So these 4 questions you do it in your homework book, that is exercise book. So for today we will wind up this session. We learnt finding square of a number ending in 5. We learnt Pythagorean triplets. So revise this topic and do the homework. Till then, thank you. Jai Hind.